So I'm sure that you know my Fursona, Andrew here, and I'm sure that you probably know that he is basically me. But do you know his history? Well, I haven't really talked about it very much, but I will today. For that, we'll have to go all the way back to when I used to draw like this. Now, here is Rapist Batman, a character that I made for comics and such, and just to give you an idea, it's like that. And then over on this side, there's even more. So, that's nowhere near all the comics that I've made in the past, but it is all the major ones. And so, from about the age of 6 or 7, I've been making comics. And that's what I was doing a lot of the time throughout my childhood. And I mean, most of them were just silly and inane, like a Rapist Batman over here, or some other ones. It's like a cute example of some of the stuff that I did. Okay, yeah. I think that's Ash Ketchum getting the shit kicked out of him. But I didn't really consider myself a furry at the time. But I did make several furry comics about these two cats. Or rather, yeah. I think it's Zach and Steven. And in this comic, they're basically murdering me. It is very just like violent and funny and ridiculous kind of shit. Not that far off from what I was already doing. But I didn't really relate to these two that much, but it was certainly a step in the right direction, because I created these two in 2009. I think I had only recently turned 10, and a couple years later, when I first started junior high in 7th grade, there's this one-off character here, Kevin, and this one was actually very relatable and very close to who I was as a person, basically. And I was going more into a slice of life sort of thing. Now, I didn't actually finish the comic at all. I didn't make any more than just this one. And it wasn't even finished. But it was certainly that direction. Because that was 2011 when I did this. Maybe 2012 at the latest. And then in 2014 was Andrew. A little different than how he would be later. But he was created basically as a snarky, just asshole kind of guy. Which I was, and I wanted to be. And I still kind of am. But it's certainly very weird and strange. But it kind of moves more into the direction of what I would do later on. Away from comics and away from humor, though I want to get back into humor because I like laughing at things. But you see that his design is very different, and that's kind of stuck, or at least his coat has. And that was actually inspired by a real cat. The first cat that I ever really had, which I named her Super Cat because she would jump over the wall, over the fence, like a Superman or something. She was a really sweet cat, but she was brown with white underbelly and black stripes. And I've always really liked that coat. Now, 2014 was a decisive year for me. I've created this post. I mean, you can tell 2017 over there, but I think that this was actually done like 2018 or 19, maybe 20. But like what was I even saying? I began him in 2014, and that's when I started to kind of consider myself a furry, and started to actually look at what the whole thing was about and such, other than just laughing at retards in costumes and stupid porn. But 2015 was when I actually got a DeviantArt account, and I did something a little different. I made him have a little tuft of hair there, and I gave him, because I myself had changed style at the time. I used to like wear a green hoodie and red shirt and basketball shorts, but then I changed it over to like more just rocker outfits and such. And so that stayed, but that little tuft there, I don't have any images of it anymore because sometime during moving to this house in 2017, I had a weird fit and decided to destroy all of my art from that period. And I've tried looking, not very hard, but I've tried looking, and yeah, the old DeviantArt account is gone. So this is the closest reconstruction to what it was. Then 2016 or so, mid-2016, I added what would become the hairstyle that he would have. And I also kind of like put the more femboy stuff on there, because I was kind of leaning more towards that. And you can see that very clearly in this one right here. This was the 10th of April 2016 when I made this. Now, one thing about the 2015 Andrew was that his belly fur was just lighter brown, which I would change up sometime around, about a month after this or so. But, you see the form coming in there, but of course my art was not the greatest. Still is pretty terrible, but, I'm getting better. But then you have this iconic image a couple months afterwards. And that really solidified what was to become Andrew. It would just be, around 2017 or so. The end of 2017 where I really made him look more gothy. With all the spiky hair shit. And, up the femboy thing even more. Which I like. I'm fine with. But, it's only been refinement since 2015. Or since, 2016. It's only been refinement since then. So he hasn't really changed too much. It was really this formative period of 2014 and 15 that had the major changes. Yeah, not just the history of Andrew, but just the full history, the shit with fucking Kevin over there. So yeah.